text is that Paul's story is also our story. Because when you look back over the history of African Americans, yes, we have been persecuted. Yes, we have been abandoned. Yes, we have been knocked down. Yes, we have been left to die. But I want you to know today, beloved, that we are still standing because our ancestors stood. We're still standing because we kept the faith. We're still standing because we did not throw in the towel. We're still standing because we believe in a God who sits high and who looks low. And I want you to know, as long as there is a God in this world, that God's going to work out everything, and everything's going to work out for our good. And that's why we've got to understand what our mission is and what it means when they are trying to kill us softly. And that brings me to the first point on this Holy Communion Sunday, is that there is a pattern of pressure. This is not new. Their tactics are a little bit more bold and open. I mean, when I looked the other day and saw how they're trying to sell off civil rights museums, where our ancestors had the courage to be a part of the Freedom Riders.
Grand rising kings and queens, welcome back to my YouTube space. I hope you're doing great. And it's amazing that I'm talking to you today. I'm not in my studio, but I say I will talk about something that is boiling. There's a video of this pastor. I've come across it. Pastor Johnson of Abyssian, is it Abyssian Church? I don't know if I got that name well. But she spoke the truth. And this sermon was delivered that it didn't just shake the room. It shook the very foundation of the system. So, Reverend Kevin Johnson, I'm happy with your sermons, and I watch your sermons every day, and this is what black people should be talking about. This is what black pastors should be preaching. We cannot be preaching just about miracles. We cannot be preaching just about, prosperity. But we need to talk about the day-to-day situation that is attacking or coming over people. So I find his sermon so powerful, okay? And the title of the sermon was that they are killing us softly. Go on YouTube, you search killing us, they're killing us softly. Reverend or Dr. Kevin R. Johnson, and you will find the whole sermon, what she talked about. Now, this is what I'm going to react on. The sermon she talked is about what's going on in America on black people, okay? So this isn't about bullets or bombs. This is about policies, about erasure, about control. It's about slow death of black excellence, of everything that black people, black Americans have built. Now, before I dive into the video, I want you to watch this clip, and then we're going to come back with more commentary.
2 Corinthians chapter 4. And I want to start at the 8th verse, just 2 verses today. Listen to what the Apostle Paul says. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. Matter of fact, permit me, I want to read verse 7 and read all the way to verse 9 again. Paul says, but we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. But we are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. Keeping with this theme of how we started this week with the memorial of Roberta Flack, I want to talk this morning from this theme, killing us softly. Or another way to say it, they're trying to kill us softly. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. They're trying to kill us softly. Beloved, I have just been reflecting over this past week and just really thinking about all that we have gone through and continue to go through as a people. I don't know what it was about this past service. It's not that I have not been around such celebrities. I have many times. But it was something about the state that we're in now in America that has just had me reflecting and thinking about where we are. You know, I couldn't help but just continue to play over and over again, Killing Me Softly, as I looked at how all the pieces came together. You know, y'all saw Mr. Stevie Wonder playing on the harmonica over here, but I saw him practicing in my office. That little piece that he played with Lauryn Hill. As I think about this song that has become so popular, Killing Me Softly, I couldn't help but think about the state and where we are right now as a people, in which we find ourselves right now in America. Yes, every day we feel this administration strumming our pain with their fingers, racist fingers. Every day this administration is singing our lives with their painful words. And every day it feels like this administration is trying to kill us softly, and sometimes not even softly, just openly. Yes, every day our history is being eliminated, our health care is being threatened, our schools are being defunded, our programs are being dismantled, our funding is being cut, jobs are being eliminated, communities are being over-policed, children are being miseducated, stories are being silenced, our leaders are being discredited, our families are being separated, our struggles are being dismissed, our achievements are being minimized, and our culture is being misappropriated, and our legacy is attempting to be destroyed. But beloved, as I think about today and as I think about where we are in this country, I cannot help but still keep singing those lyrics to that song, strumming me with the pain of his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me what softly with his song. Beloved, I don't know about you, but I'm at a place in my life and in my journey where I just can't sit back and watch you try to destroy everything that we built. I just cannot sit back and just be complacent. Beloved, that's why I applaud like Senator Raphael Warnock for standing up against this administration, because somebody has to stand up. Dr. King said it this way: if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And beloved, it's now time for the church. It's now time for our communities. It's now time for this world to start standing up to somebody who's trying to be a king, but all you are is just a wannabe king. Have I got a witness in here today? It's time to stand up. Every week, there's a new executive order. And these executive orders are unconstitutional. If anything, they are really marketing ploys. They are attempts that are being made to try to put fear in you. You know, I was talking to somebody who's in one of these big corporations, and they were talking about how nothing has been done to their firm, but how they are already trying to change things because they are afraid of what he might do. Well, be like the governor in New Hampshire and tell him, I will meet you in court. Have I got a witness here today? And sometimes you've got to get to the point to where you are no longer afraid of being afraid. And that's why I'm so glad that our Attorney General is here, because that sister is bad over there, Letitia James. Oh, yeah. Did you hear what she said? When a woman, and I'm going to put some color on this, when a black woman's mind is made up. Beloved, I want you to know that he needs to be concerned now is because if she stands up, then we've got to stand behind her so she can keep standing up. This is not a time to be weak. This is not a time to throw in the towel. This is a time to stand up for what is right. And that's why we are so moved today, is because we look at America. America has tried to strum us along with its fingers. But that's why I love what the Apostle Paul says here in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, begin at verse 8. He says, we are pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Yes, my brothers and sisters, what the Apostle Paul is trying to get us to see is that there will come a moment in your life when you have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. There comes a moment in your life when you can no longer be afraid. There comes a moment in your life when you say, come hell or high water, I'm going to stand up for truth. I'm going to stand up for justice. I'm going to stand up for what is right. And that's why this story about the Apostle Paul, as he speaks to the church of Corinth, resonates so well with us, is because Paul wasn't writing theory. Paul was not putting together some type of prose. No, Paul was writing from his experience. He had been beaten, in prison, shipwrecked, starved, rejected, left for dead. But yet Paul speaks from experience and says, yes, I've been hard pressed, but I wasn't crushed. Yes, I've been perplexed, but I'm not in despair. Yes, I've been persecuted, but I have not been abandoned. Yes, I've been struck down, but I have not been destroyed. And what Paul is trying to say to us as we read this text is that Paul's story is also our story. Because when you look back over the history of African Americans, yes, we have been persecuted. Yes, we have been abandoned. Yes, we have been knocked down. Yes, we have been left to dead, to die. But I want you to know today, beloved, that we are still standing because our ancestors stood. We're still standing because we kept the faith. We're still standing because we did not throw in the towel. We're still standing because we believe in a God who sits high and who looks low. And I want you to know, as long as there is a God in this world, that God's going to work out everything, and everything's going to work out for our good. And that's why we've got to understand what our mission is and what it means when they are trying to kill us softly. And that brings me to the first point on this Holy Communion Sunday, is that there is a pattern of pressure. This is not new. Their tactics are a little bit more bold and open. I mean, when I looked the other day and saw how they're trying to sell off civil rights museums where our ancestors had the courage to be a part of the Freedom Riders, but yet you want to sell that piece of history. As I look at all of what's taking place to our black veterans there at the cemeteries and how they have erased their names, so now you don't know who was the first black and who made some contribution. Don't you know that our blood built this country? Don't you know that our sacrifice made America what it is? Don't you know that America cannot talk about the land of the free and the home of the brave without adding black people to that story? And that's why it disturbs me for somebody who ain't even from America to try to erase what has been done in America. Take yourself back to South Africa. You don't deserve to be in America. And that's why I'm glad that there are people who are finally standing up. I like what Tim Walz had to say. is that he is a Nepo baby. His father, when you look at the history, just look up his father and how his father built his wealth. His father stole minerals from the mines there in Africa. So he's only where he is right now is because of black blood that had died in the mines in Africa. Don't tell me that you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You got there because of black blood that helped to make you rich. And beloved, I'm at a point now where we've got to keep speaking truth to power. We can no longer just let them roll over us. No, if you're going to try to do something, then we are going to keep speaking. We are going to keep preaching. And guess what? I thank God that I'm the pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church. We stand on a legacy of speaking truth to power. Because this is a pattern of pressure. And when you understand that this is what they do, and this is how they take words like diversity and say that diversity is now divisive. No, it ain't divisive, you just jealous. Words like inclusion and say it's unfair. No, it's not unfair, you're just mad. Or words like history and call it controversial. No, it's not controversial, you just can't handle the truth. And that's why they are trying to ban books, and that's why they are trying all of these tricks, because they don't want the truth to get out. The first thing that you and I must understand, that when people are trying to kill, you softly just look at the pattern of the pressure. Look at how they tried to pressure our leaders, and that's why it's important for us to understand that this is nothing new. And not only is it a pattern of pressure, but you've also got to understand that there is power within the clay jars. The Apostle Paul, look at what Paul says here in the text. Paul says, but we have, this is verse 7, this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not us. That's the shout right there. It's because when you look at how they try to apply pressure on us, and you understand that we are jars of clay, but the fact that we are still in the potter's hand. Oh, you missed your opportunity to shout. You see, it really doesn't matter how much pressure is applied. It's because as long as we stay in God's hands, that God can rework us, God can reshape us, God can redefine us. That's why I'm not concerned about them getting rid of DEI. You can call it what you want. It's because we've learned as a people to learn how to reinvent ourselves. Don't you know that they have always tried to get rid of things? This is not new. This is just this generation. They've called it quotas. They've called it all kinds of things. But guess what? We kept on rising. Guess what? We kept on making history. Guess what? We kept on making a way. It's because we serve a God who is all powerful and who helps us through every season in our lives. Yes, we have this treasure in jars of clay, the Apostle Paul says. He says, what is this treasure? It's our resilience. What is this treasure? It is our creativity. What is this treasure? It is our faith. What is this treasure? It is our joy. What is this treasure? It is our community. It is our working together on behalf of our people. And that's why this treasure, this earthly clay, is so important. It's because our God is moving even while they're trying to create destruction in our lives. And what I've learned about clay is that when clay is still being molded, is that clay, it can't be broken. And when you look at our ancestors, the reason that they were not able to destroy them is because clay cannot be broken. Doesn't matter how many times they try to come for us, you can't break me. Don't matter how many times you say something negative about me, you can't break me. Doesn't matter how many times you try to cast me aside or push me aside, you can't break me. Because we stand on a legacy and we stand upon a history that could not be broken. Then lastly, beloved, because it's Communion Sunday, I'm just trying to do a little Sunday school lesson here today, is that we've got to understand that there is a shift from persecuted to being resilient. You see, there comes a point when you've got to make the shift from when you're focused on being persecuted to where you're saying to yourself, I'm resilient. And that's what our history has been. 400 years of them trying to kill us. Sometimes softly, sometimes violently, but we're still singing. We're still speaking. We're still preaching. We're still building. We're still voting. We're still rising. Yes, Paul was trying to tell us the truth, that we are hard pressed on every side, but we are not crushed. We have moved from being victims to being survivors, from persecuted to being resilient, from silence to speaking the truth. Yes, in every generation, we have demonstrated a resilience that confounds our oppressors. When they expect us to break, we bend. When they expect us to give up, we dig deeper. When they expect for us to disappear, we multiply. When they eliminate our history, we wrote new books. When they threaten our health care, we created a community clinics. When they defunded our research, we found new ways to document our truth. When they dismantled our programs, we built new ones. When they tried to cut our funding, we funded each other. When they eliminated our jobs, we started our own businesses. When they over-policed our communities, we organized for justice. When they miseducated our children, we taught them. When they silenced our stars, we spoke louder. When they discredited our leaders, we found new ones. When they separated our families, we created a new definition of families. And yes, beloved, when we have been hard pressed, we have not been crushed. When we have been perplexed, we have not been in despair. When we have been persecuted, we have not been abandoned. And when we have been struck down, we have not been destroyed. And beloved, I want you to know that with God on our side, that we will not be killed. With God on our side, we will not be destroyed. With God on our side, we'll keep on fighting. We'll keep on believing. We'll keep on championing our cause, because greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. Let me say it again. Greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. Beloved, we are at a critical point in our culture and in our community. But the question is, will you let them kill you softly, or will you go down fighting until the very end? I'm fighting until the very end.
Welcome back. I want to speak something on this sermon. I want to rant something on this sermon. Dr. Johnson, or the pastor, talked about quiet distractions of black people, quiet distractions of black schools, quiet distractions of black business, quiet distractions of black families. Every week, a new executive order is being signed, or a new executive order slips through, cutting funding to historically black colleges, banning black books, that tells black people's stories and defending black communities. They don't come to black people loudly. They don't go to black Americans loudly. They go, or they do it silently. And this is strategic, is soft genocide. They don't want black people to notice until it is too late. But Dr. Johnson is raising the alarm. Black people must stand up now. We must stand up now. You see, they know what they are doing. The system isn't broken. The system was built to function exactly like how it is functioning. The system is not broken. The system was built like this. Even in Africa, when you see the youths are rising and we think that the government is broken, the system is broken. No. The system in African countries is not broken. The system was built to act like it's acting right now. The elite taking it from everyone. They are silencing the youths. The system was built like that, The Reverend reminded everyone of how the government infiltrated and destabilized the civil rights movement, the Black Panther Party, every modern protest like BLM. Every time Black people try to unify, they plant division. Every time Black Americans and Africans try to unify, they plant division. They create destruction. They criminalize the leaders like Ibrahim Traore. They criminalize him. Dr. Johnson spoke of the destruction of Black-led movement. He talked about that. And now they are doing the same to our children. They are doing the same to the youth. They are doing the same to the Gen Zs. They are doing the same to the Gen Alpha. Executive orders are stripping away protections in schools, Black schools. I'm talking about Black American. I'm talking about African. I'm talking about Caribbeans. They are increasing surveillance on Black people, school policing and pushing out Black children through suspension, arrest, and racial curriculums. This is a war. And most people don't even know they are under attack because they are doing it quietly and softly. This is what it's called, or Dr. Johnson or the Reverend called out the executive orders that are quietly building a cage for Black life. For example, Donald Trump said he wanna protect Black people, enforce law and order in Black neighborhood. Aye. And he said Black people call and need protection. Did you do that? Did you do that, Black people? I think this is just increasing the surveillance on Black neighborhoods. There is fear. There is fear when Black people try to unite and work together. There is fear when Black Panther try to circulate food to the needy. There is fear when Black Americans and Caribbeans and Africans trying to unite. There is fear when Black Americans are supporting Ibrahim Traore. There is fear. There is fear of Black unity. So what do? Let's put executive orders that will suppress this, that will oppress Black people. I have heard the sermon. He talked about how they are killing Black dreams. It's not about bombs and guns and, how they are killing Black dreams. Removing access to affordable housing, healthcare, small business loans, and community protections. They have weaponized policy to destroy Black Americans' progress. And we have got to say it. This is not accidental. This is intentionally. Let me tell you something. Right now, youths in Kenya are protesting. We are in the streets protesting. And we have valid reasons to protest. We have valid points. But what did the elite do? The elite are silencing us softly. The elite are killing Black people. The elite are making Black people or are making the youths to be seen as they are goons going to the street to protest, to loot. But no, when the youths are going to protest, they plant the goons in the midst of the youths. This is strategy. This is how they want it to look like. They want to look like the youths are not fighting for the real thing. But let me tell you, this sermon is a reminder. He reminded congregation that the Black community has built and rebuilt time and time again, from Black Wall Street to Harlem to Brownsville. Every time Black people build, they burn it down and bury it under highways, policy, and poverty. Dr. Johnson's words were heavy. Are not coming for us with guns. They are coming with pens. They are coming with silence, just writing down with the denial, and they are killing Black people softly. That silence is deadly. And we can't afford to be quiet anymore. As Black people, we can't afford to be quiet anymore. We need to stand up. We need to stand up. We need to unite. Unity is the only thing that can bring us up. Okay? Now, reacting just on the sermon, Johnson didn't stop at the pain. He brought power. He said, it is time to stand up. It is time to unite. Black people must defend what's ours, because no one else will defend Black people. By the way, no one else will defend us. No one else will defend Black people, and it's a challenge to us to protect our schools, to defend our businesses, to reclaim our neighborhoods. It is time for us to support our own. It is time for Black people to stop begging for inclusion and start building independence. We need to build. We need to build what needs to be built by Black people. And the most powerful moment is when He looked out at the congregation and said, you are not powerless. That's what the message was. You are not powerless. You are descendants of kings, descendants of queens, revolutionaries. You have survived everything they have thrown at you as black people, black Americans. You have got it. You survived everything they have thrown at you. Segregation, redlining, you have survived everything. And now it is time to stop serving and start thriving. It's not just a church sermon. That was not just a church sermon. It is a movement. I have heard that it is a movement. It is a blueprint. It's a spiritual revolution. It's a black awakening. And we need a lot of preachers to talk. We need them to come out. We need them to speak about black people, to call out what's happening in black communities. Now, I'll say this. We cannot be forced by a smiling face or an eloquent speech. These executive orders in America that's affecting black people, the cultural attacks, they are designed to nullify black people, to make black people to sleep. But what I know is that black people can't sleep anymore. And the sermon made it clear. Unity is not a dream. Unity is a demand. And this is time for organizing, for strategizing, for supporting black-owned everything from banks to school to found system. And this is the time for rejecting systems that harm black people and building our own. And we can do that. We can do that. We have solutions. We have solutions. And even Dr. Johnson gave them solutions. Mentor the youths, educate each other, use your money like your vote, spend with intention, build networks of protection, care, and truth, support independent black business, black schools, black-led movement, He reminded us that our power has always been in our unity. Yes, the power of black people is in the unity because they fear when we unite. And that's why they're trying to divide black people by class, by colorism, by nationality, by gender. But we are all black. And this system doesn't care where you are from. It only sees your skin. We must stand together as black people. They are killing us softly, but we are waking up loudly. Dr. Reverend didn't just deliver a message. He sparked a fire. And now it is on us black people. Keep it burning to protect our future, to defend our people, to rise as one. Because they can't stop us unless we stay silent. It is time. Let's rise. Let's unite. Let's reclaim everything they tried to steal from us. Power to the people, black power. That's what we need. What they are trying to do is not by accident. As we said, the system is not broken. It is designed to work like that. The system is not broken. It is strategy. And we as black people, we know this. Black Americans knows this. I am begging for Africans to know this too. Africans must come out and support each other. Let's unite with the black Americans. Let's unite with the Afro-Caribbeans, because this unity is what that will bring the end of destruction we are seeing and the rise of black people. One of these fine days, black people are going to rule. But when is the day? It's like waiting upon the Lord. God is coming, and He's not coming. When is the day? So what do? You need to be ready to meet the Lord. So as black people, we need to be ready. When the time comes, we have everything. We have power. We have knowledge. We have strategy, and we can take it forward. Okay? Now tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about the sermon. Go watch all of the sermon on Abyssinian Church, or just write Dr. Kevin R. Johnson, and you get the best sermon I've ever heard. Until next episode, peace out.